Hi friends, hello. Welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English, India's largest online learning platform, Unacademy. From Unacademy, you will be getting daily live classes, live tests, quizzes, structured courses, unlimited access to course material and videos on civil services prelims and mains. Download Unacademy learning app, get daily live classes, free live classes. This is Kiran Anishetti, faculty for administration, political science, quality issues in governance and ethics. I have done my MBA. I have done my MA in public administration and political science. About to complete my LLB. But UGC net qualified in political science and public administration. 4 times I took civils mains with public administration as optional. I have more than 10 years of teaching experience in UPSC. I have taught in Telangana government, ST IAS study circle in Hyderabad, Telangana government minority IAS study circle, Hyderabad, Super 60 IAS Academy, Hyderabad, Challengers IAS Academy, Hyderabad, Narayana IAS Academy, Hyderabad, and Pan India IAS Academy, Hyderabad. If you have any doubts or queries, you can contact on my Telegram channel. That is Unacademy_Kiran Anishetti. Today we are going to discuss an interesting and important topic from Public Administration Paper 2, that is Administrative Reforms Part 1. Every year, definitely questions will be coming from administrative reform. You can prepare with the top 100 educators of an academy, such as Mrunal Patel, Roman Saini, Sudarshan Gujjar, etc. An academy covers UPSC syllabus comprehensively, such as polity issues in governance, international relations, current affairs, general essay, ethics, optional subjects, Indian economy, history, geography, science and technology, answer writing practice, etc. An academy is offering plus subscription in which aspirant will be getting daily live classes, test series, unlimited practice, third schedule. For 12 months, it is 44,000. If you use my promo code, you will be getting it 39,600. For 24 months, it is 64,000. If you use my promo code, you will be getting it 57,600. An academy has recently come up with iconic subscription in which the aspirant will be getting personal guidance, personal mentorship from the faculty, which is very, very important to crack UPSC exam, because UPSC involves many intricacies. These intricacies known to the student or aspirant only when he or she has personal mentorship. For instance, if you use my promo code and subscribe iconic subscription, you will get 10% discount. For 12 months, 64,000, you will be getting just at 57,600. 24 months, it is 99,000. If you use my promo code, you will be getting at 89,100. Apart from 10% discount, if you use my promo code and subscribe iconic subscription, I will be guiding you with regard to public administration optional, political science optional, and general studies paper 2, quality issues in governance and international relations, general studies paper 4, ethics, and most of the issues related to journalism. Apart from me, Unacademy will assign a team of experts, expert educators, who will be guiding you in their respective subjects. In addition to these benefits, the aspirant under Iconic subscription will be getting daily live classes, test series, unlimited practice, structured schedule, personal mentorship as we have discussed, daily questions on mains, study planner, and personal feedback. We will be evaluating your answer scripts. We will be giving our comments. You can improve your writing skills on the basis of our comments. Hence, Iconic subscription will be of immense benefit. I strongly recommend for subscription of Iconic pattern. Administrative reforms. Administrative reforms refers to streamline. Administrative reforms refer to streamlining, refurbishing administrative apparatus in order to enhance its efficacy, its effectiveness. Administrative reforms are required for to improve administrative effectiveness. As students of public administration, we should always distinguish between effectiveness and efficiency. Efficiency is emphasized upon generally in private sector with minimum utilization of resources. Organization should be run smoothly. That is efficiency. But on the other hand, effectiveness refers to how far the organization has succeeded in achieving its goals and objectives. How far the organization has been successful in achieving its stated goals and objectives. Is effective. Administrative reforms are aimed at improving administrative effectiveness. Administrative apparatus should yield results. It should yield results. It should protect the people. It should maintain proper order in the society. It should enforce welfareistic programs in an effective manner so that goods of welfareistic programs should reach to all the people. It should regulate the economy. It should run the transportation in a smooth manner. It should improve infrastructure facilities. Like that, to enable the administrative system to yield results, administrative reforms are aimed. That is to improve administrative. Just a minute. Just a minute. To solve personnel problems, to cope with, to solve personnel problems means personnel, human resource management, recruitment, training, service conditions, disciplinary action. In order to enhance or improve personal administration. That's what administrative reforms aim to cope with the pressures and threats from outside the environment. Administrative system, as we have studied in paper 1, ecological model of Fredericks. In my previous session, I have session on that ecological model of Fredericks. In that, Fredericks says an administrative apparatus functions in a social environment in which it is impacted by the subsystems in the society, such as political system, socio-economic system, cultural, historical factors. This is how administrative system is impacted by these various factors. The administrative system should be in a position to acclimatize itself to the changes in the environment. Otherwise, the nation will face disastrous results. It may be with regard to coping with terrorist attacks. It may be dealing with cyber crimes. It may be dealing with health hazards like corona pandemic. It may be with regard to bringing the fruits of development to the doorsteps of poor people. This is how administrative system should be made to acclimatize itself to the changes in the environment. It should be made to acclimatize itself to the changes in the environment. These are the three aims of administrative reform: to improve administrative effectiveness, to solve personnel problems, to cope with pressures and threats from outside environment. Gerald Kaiden defines administrative reforms. Beautiful definition. With his definition, he covers the entire gamut of administrative reforms sphere. Administrative reform sphere. He says artificial inducement of administrative transformation against resistance. Artificial inducement of administrative transformation against resistance. There are three interrelated concepts are ingrained in the definition. These are moral purpose, artificial transformation, and resistance. Moral purpose, artificial transformation, and resistance. One by one, we will discuss. Moral purpose. Moral purpose. What is this moral purpose? To change from status quo. To change from status quo. To transcend from status quo. What is the status quo? As it is, the present situation. The moral purpose in the definition given by Gerald Federer. Moral purpose refers to change from existing situation of ineffectiveness in administrative apparatus, to change from the present situation of ineffectiveness in administrative apparatus to better situation, a better situation, better state of affairs. What is that better state? To make the administrative system more effective, galvanize the administrative system to yield results. That is moral purpose. And from status quo, desired state of affairs, that is to yield, make the administrative system to become more effective. Then artificial inducement. What is this artificial inducement? What does it refer? It refers to administrative reforms have to be always imposed from outside. Administrative reforms always have to be imposed outside. The demand for administrative reforms never come from within. Why is this from outside? I have to draw the diagram in order to make you understand. As students of public administration, we should not forget ecological model of Fredericks. Otherwise, it will be administrative blasphemy. It is sin. It is administrative sin. You should not forget Frederick's ecological model. He says in his ecological model, administrative system will be functioning in a social environment in which it is affected by other subsystems, like political system, like socio-cultural system, or economic system. Economic system. I'm very bad at paintings and drawing the diagrams. Please excuse me. Here, artificial inducement means the demands for administrative reforms have to come from outside. What do you mean to say outside? From the society or from the political system or from economic system? But it never comes from within. Administrative apparatus itself never demands or advocates administrative. For instance, Lokpal Lokayukta bill was passed in 2013. It was because of the pressure from civil society. Anna Hazare movement. Right to Information Act, pressure from civil society. Aruna Rai, Mazdur Kisan Shakti Sangatan, which played commendable role in galvanizing the government to pass RTI Act. Mission Karmayogi by present government, the pressure from political system. Political executive, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers are determined to bring about reforms in administrative apparatus. Yes. They brought out Mission Karmayogi. They are giving more importance, central executive is giving more importance to specialists. This is also one of the administrative reform initiatives. Lateral entry has been introduced by the executive, which is also an administrative reform initiative. Mission Karma Yogi. In 1 year, 40 to 50 IRS officials were dismissed from the services on the charges of corruption, sexual harassment, etc. In these 6 years, many IAS and IPS have been removed from the service on the charges of massive corruption. Till now, in these 70 years of Indian independence experience, no IPS or IAS officer was removed from the service. The first time IAS IPS were removed from the service on the charges of stringent disciplinary actions. From where? From political executive. International lending agencies such as World Bank, IMF, Asian Development Bank, they will be demanding administrative reforms. They prescribe aid conditional. Only when you meet these conditions, we will give you financial aid. Yes, the developing countries were forced to initiate administrative. This is how the demand for administrative reforms come from outside. The pressure for administrative reforms comes from outside. It never comes from within. That is second important component of definition given by Gerald Hayden. Third important component, resistance. The bureaucracy never wants reforms. It supports status quo. Because bureaucracy is engrossed in self-aggrandizement. It is characterized by colonial hangover and feudalistic mentality. It doesn't want to change. Yes. Tremendous resistance will come from bureaucracy. Tremendous resistance will come from bureaucracy. These are the three important components of definition given by Gerald Kyle. Administrative reforms refer to artificial inducement of administrative transformation against resistance. The three interrelated concepts here: the moral purpose, that is the desire to change from present scenario to future desirable state of affairs; artificial inducement, that means the demand for change always comes from outside; third, resistance, the bureaucracy always resists the administrative reform initiative. It always resists the administrative reform initiative. Al-Qaeda differentiates between reforms and change. Change is spontaneous response on the part of the organization for its sheer survival. Change is spontaneous response on the part of the organization for its sheer survival. If you take, for instance, public sector banks, they go for facadistic measures, air conditioning, decorating the offices, putting helpline desk, in help desk, but their style of functioning will remain same. You ask bank statement, they feel as if they are giving lakhs of rupees from their pocket. You come in the evening, you come tomorrow. I don't have time, as if they are masters and we are beggars. They are not going to give bank statement for free of cost. They will charge. These people, they never give any personal loan or any loan to private salaried employee or private income tax payer, and they are reluctant to give bank statement either. That is the state of condition in public sector. Air conditioning, help desk, computerization, digitalization, all these facadistic measures. For what purpose? For their own sheer survival. That doesn't involve any drastic change in their behavior or work style. You go to private bank, within a few minutes you will be given bank statement. This in the same vein, land order administration, help desk, swanky buildings, swanky commissionerate, district headquarters, police stations, assistant commissioner of police office, air conditioned, mineral water, cold mineral water is available in police stations nowadays for the petitioners. Style of functioning will remain same. The citizen will be treated as a slave. He will be abused in filthy language. Innocent people will be tortured. They will be detained. And in some unfortunate instances, they will be put to death by subjecting them to custodial torture. What happened in Pudukottai district, Tamil Nadu? Even after 75 years of our independence, it is shameful on the part of the police and land order administration to have allegations of custodial death. Father and son were subjected to third degree treatment. They were so brutally tortured, their private parts were mutilated. Fancy buildings, air conditioning, lighting, help desk, may I help you, helpline, dial 100, all these facadistic measures. But style of functioning will remain same. That's what Gerald Kiden says. Change is spontaneous response on the part of the organization to the changes in the external environments for its sheer survival. But it never involves drastic change in the style of functioning, change in the duties and functions of the organization, nor in their behavior and culture. It's only facadistic. It's only facadistic. But reform involves remedying malfunctioning of the administrative apparatus. Reforms involves remedying malfunctioning of administrative apparatus. Remedying malfunctioning of administrative system. involves major overhaul in administrative system. Involves major overhaul in administrative. Involves major overhaul in administrative system. Remedying malfunctioning of administrative system means changing the administrative culture, administrative behavior, eliminating or at least curbing corruption, curbing abuse of authority, curbing maladministration. It involves all these measures. Remedying malfunctioning of administration, which involves major overhaul in administrative system. Now we will discuss the situations in which administrative reforms are going to be implemented, the conditions in which administrative reforms are going to be implemented. Administrative reforms involve changing what exists. That means administrative reforms involve change from status. It's always remember in public administration, these jargon are very, very important. Status quo, change agent, progressive socio-economic change. These are very, very important. It involves change from status quo. It involves change from status. Change from status. Vested interests are involved in maintaining status quo. Vested interests, they do not want reforms in administration. For instance, in regard to farm bills, how hue and cry is raised because they have vested interests, entrenched vested interests. When I visited some villages on the occasion of Dashaira festival, I happened to speak with farmers near my hometown Warangal. They were so happy with that they need not to go for local mandis right from now because brokers in local mandis used to fleece these farmers. The market chairman will be appointed by ruling party of the state. He will be dancing to the tunes of local MLAs and ministers. Ruling party MLA, ruling party MLAs and ministers will have their brokers in the mandi. They will be fleecing the farmer. My in-laws also farmers. My wife was saying that Many times, my father-in-law used to come from the mandi, local mandi, by weeping. They shed crocodile tears in the name of the welfare of the farmers. They want to protest against these farm bills. They don't want it. Vested interests don't want interlinking of Aadhaar, telephone number, and bank account. One of his public rallies, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in last year before Lok Sabha elections, he was addressing one of the public rallies in which he mooted very paradoxical thing. PIL was filed against interlinking of Aadhaar, bank account, and phone number. You know who fought this case? Lawyers who charge per hour somewhere between 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs per hour, and who will be air dashed from one high court to another high court or from one high court to Supreme Court by private chartered planes. Narendra Modi asked one question. Did common man afford these highly paid advocates to argue on their behalf, not to link Aadhaar, phone number, and bank account? Are you getting my point? The minister was asking, you filed PIL in the name of common man whose right to privacy is going to be violated if Aadhaar, phone number, bank account were to be interlinked. Question here is, how come a common man offered highly remunerative, or sorry, the advocates who charge high remuneration, can they afford? Can the common man afford? Then who is paying money to these advocates who charge lakhs of rupees per hour? Brokers. Brokers. The scamsters. This is how vested interests are involved in preventing administrative reform, including the bureaucracy. Including bureaucracy, vested interests are involved, including political parties. For instance, Supreme Court gave guidelines with regard to transfer of IAS officer. It directed all the state governments to form civil services board comprising the top administrators, senior bureaucrats of the state. The civil service board will look after the transfers and postings of IAS officers. But till now it has not been implemented. Till now has not been implemented. This is how state interests are involved in maintenance of status. Third, Administrative reforms are part of larger political process. Administrative reforms are part of larger political process, and it should be considered in relation to it. What does it mean? It connotes tremendous meaning and significance. This statement has tremendous significance. Based on this single statement, 3-4 times questions have been asked in civil services mains public administration optional question paper. 3-4 times. You will be wondered to know even in general essay, question has been asked based on this single statement. Even in issues in governance, general studies part 2, paper 2. What does it imply? Again, we have to go back to Frederick's ecological model. Excuse me. Second time I will be repeating Frederick's ecological model. It should be ingrained in your mind as students of public administration. Even if you are made to wake up in the dead midnight from your slumber, immediately you should be able to explain this concept. Administrative system will be working in a social environment. Administrative system will be working in a social environment in which it is affected by other subsystems in the society. What are these systems? Socio cultural, economic, political. Social, socio-economic, political, economic, socio-cultural, political, economic. In this environment, it will be working. Ecological mean why we call Frederick's ecological model. Frederick's he drew a concept from ecology, one of the branches of biological science. It studies the interrelation between the interaction between living organism and its external environment. Living organism and its external environment. For instance, we will be affected by the changes in the weather. The winter sets in, we may suffer from cold, fever, etc. When summer comes, we may be having the problem of heat waves, sweating, heat. This is how external environment has impact on us. At the same time, human actions have impact on the external environment, like pollution that is emanated from our vehicular traffic is resulting in ozone depletion, global warming, etc. This is how the living organism and its external environment has symbiotic relationship. He draws a concept from ecology and he says the way living organism is affected by its external environment and vice versa. In the same way, administrative system will be affected by other subsystems in the society and vice versa. Vice versa. That is ecological model of federalism. Simple to understand. Now we will discuss how each subsystem of the society affects administrative system. That's what this statement says. Administrative reforms are part of larger political process and it should be considered in relation to it. The statement is saying that political system has tremendous impact on the administrative system. Without reforming political system, if you seeks to reform administrative system, will be futile endeavor. Will be futile endeavor. Why? It is because the objectives and philosophy of administrative system always determined by the political system in which it functions. For instance, during Kautilya's period, the administration was supposed to work for yoga and kshema, for material prosperity of people and protection of people from antisocial elements like lumpen elements, protection of people from external aggression. The same administrative system was made to freeze people for the sensual pleasures and material comforts of Sultan in Delhi Sultanate rule and Mughals rule. Delhi Sultanate rule and Mughals rule never bothered about welfare of people. People were left to stew in their own juice. Welfare, public order, protection of people were put on back burner. When the administrative system was in British rule, it was used as an instrument to oppress and exploit Indians for imperialistic purposes. Same administrative system after the commencement of Indian Constitution has been used as an instrument of progressive socio-economic change. This is how very philosophy and objectives of administrative system depend on political system in which it functions. This is how political system has tremendous bearing on administrative system. Another reason, in any democracy, the transfers and postings of bureaucrats will be in the hands of political executive. Appointment, training, transfers and postings, and service conditions will be in the hands of bureaucrats. Sorry, it will be in the hands of political executive. That is, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers at the center, the Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers at state. so that people can ensure, the citizen can ensure accountability, transparency, responsiveness on the part of the administrative apparatus to their representative, to their representative. For this purpose, the administrative system will be functioning under the supervision of political executive. If political executive himself were to be corrupt, mawali, gunda, lawbreaker, what will happen? Administrative system will also become corrupt, rogue, and anti-people. In Gangajal picture, you see how a Tanedar, station house officer, behaves with common people, ordinary citizens. This is how the police system used to be during Lalu Yadav rule. Lalu Raj mein aisa rehta. That's why Prime Minister Narendra Modi is using this jibe. Tejasvi Yadav is Yuvaraj of Jangal Raj. Yuvaraj of Jangal Raj. His father was Raj of Jangal Raj. His mother was Rani of Jangal Raj. IAS officer's wife was repeatedly raped with the acknowledgement of, with the knowledge of her husband. A Bollywood picture was also shooted on this, starred by Narmada Shirodkar, Tollywood superstar Mahesh Babu's wife. This unfortunate incident happened in late 90s, 97, 98, like that. A district SP was beaten with chappal. District collector was stoned to death. He was from our Telugu speaking states only. His name was Krishnaya. This was the greatness of Jangal Raj of Lalu Raj. That is the grand testimony to the fact when political executive himself is corrupt, mawali, gunda, invariably the administrative system will also become like that. This is how political system has tremendous bearing on administrative system. This is how political system has tremendous bearing on administrative system. That's why there is a saying, political corruption is mother of all corruption. Political corruption is mother of all corruption. This phenomenon is beautifully explained by the famous administrative thinker Montgomery. It is beautifully explained by the famous administrative thinker Montgomery. Without attempting to reform political system, if you want to reform administrative system, in his words, he says it will be like adopting static model of administrative perfection to dynamic political reality. Adopting static model of administrative perfection to dynamic political reality. Adopting static model of administrative perfection to dynamic political reality means without bringing reforms in political system. In fact, we are not discussing the reforms in social sector, social subsystem, cultural subsystem, and economic subsystem. Because of time factor, we are just discussing the impact of political system on administrative system, and also the statement directly related to this. Administrative reforms are part of larger political process and should be considered in relation to it. Phenomenon is beautifully explained by Montgomery as adopting static model of administrative system, administrative perfection to dynamic political reality. You may have one question. Just now, before discussing this point, I told you that this aspect has been asked even in general studies paper 2 and general essay. In general studies, it has been asked. The question was, Lokpal, however strong he may be, Lokpal, however strong he may be, he won't be able to remove all the corruption in politico-administrative. Paul, however strong he may be, he won't be able to remove all the corruption in administrative system. What does it mean? Just by a single instrument called Lokpal, you cannot remove the entire corruption because corruption is of more environmental. Environmental here doesn't refer to physical environment, but the social environment. The other subsystems in the society, like political system, social, cultural, economic. This is what the examiner was referring. The same way, in general essay, it has been asked. Corruption is of more environmental and it should be considered in relation to it. Corruption is more environmental and it should be considered in relation to it. This is what we mean to say. Administrative reforms are part of larger political process and should be considered in it. Thank you, friends. We will discuss the rest of the aspects of administrative reforms in my second part of administrative reforms. Thank you. Subscribe to Unacademy YouTube channel. Share and like the videos. Use my promo code, that is capital AIRAN, and get 10% discount. If you have any doubts or clarifications, you can contact me on my Telegram channel, Academy _Kiran Anishetti. Thank you. Thanks a lot.